Welcome back, everybody. Tube's coming at you. This is a very, very special Tube review that I'm doing this week. Um, Today I get to talk about The Dark Knight Rises, and I am super stoked. Super stoked. So, there is going to be spoilers. There's going to be. I'm going to talk about this movie, so if you have not seen this movie, turn this off right now because I don't want to spoil it for anybody. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. So, here is my piece on The Dark Knight Rises. I had to do it twice. Like I said the last thing, I wanted to see it again, and I saw it again, and it grabbed me. It took me in the second time because it's a long movie. It's 3 hours long, but the thing is they're very short scenes. The scenes are very short. It's a very fast-paced movie, and I needed to soak it all in, and I did. I went by myself and saw it because we didn't have a sitter, so I just decided to go because we had a free ticket. So heck yeah, went and saw it again, and it just took me, and I loved it. I thought it was a great wrap up to the story, and I loved how the characters played out in the movie, and Nolan's twist on a lot of the old characters and a lot of the his story when it comes to the characters. You know, um, Joseph Gordon-Levitt becoming, well, not Joseph Gordon-Levitt. You find out at the end of the movie that his real name is Robin and everything, and that was really cool. I don't think he's going to become Robin. I think like the movie kind of ended to where he's going to become Batman, and I think that's going to be really cool because Joseph Gordon-Levitt has that. He's got that square jaw. I think it'll look good in the bat suit. So, but the whole Robin thing, I think that he was a good, Nolan played it off to where he was kind of helping out Batman throughout the movie and everything like that, and kind of being, a yin to his yang, so to speak. He helped him out, and I don't know if that was a good one, but he was a good little helper out of Batman throughout the whole movie. He was kind of helping him out, and he knew who Batman was and everything like that. And so I think it was cool that he kind of incorporated him as somebody who really helped Batman out through the movie. So he was kind of acting as Robin, the sidekick and everything. But at the end of the movie, it was kind of cool. I noticed the second time that when Joseph Gordon-Levitt, when you see him walking into the Batcave, you can see on the back of his jacket it has kind of like the Nightwing symbol, because Robin becomes Nightwing in the series and everything, but I think he's going to become Batman, not Nightwing. So I think that's going to be really cool and everything. And as far as Anne Hathaway is concerned, I think it was a good role for her. She wasn't Catwoman. Nobody called her Catwoman. She was a cat burglar, and she was kind of a nemesis in a certain way, and kind of a bump in the road. And she definitely had her hand in a lot of the anarchy, with helping Bane out, but not really knowing what exactly she was doing. She just, they just hired her to get his fingerprints. But it's cool, and I'm just going to mention this on IMDb. If you go under there, there's like, you scroll down to the bottom of The Dark Knight Rises, there's a section where it has like commonly asked questions, and one of the things that was asked is, what are all the steps in Bane's plan? And it basically lays out every single thing in the movie as to what they need to do. And there's a lot of really good questions in there that a lot of people might have that they answer very, very well. And so I highly recommend checking that out if you have any questions about the movie. I caught it, like I said, I caught it the second time. I caught a lot of the stuff that I really didn't understand. The only thing I'm going to say, here's my bitch. One of the beginning parts of Bane is them crashing the stock exchange. They're going to the stock exchange, and they shoot it up, and then they end up doing a bunch of financial stuff that helps one of their employers, helps one of Bane's employers, and also fucks over Bruce Wayne pretty good. But they enter the stock exchange. They have to go through metal detectors and all that stuff, all of a sudden, there's cops surrounding the place, and all of a sudden they come bursting out of there in motorcycles. Where the fuck did you get the motorcycles? I don't know where the fuck you got the motorcycles. I know sure as hell you didn't just walk them in there and be like, oh, I'm just going to leave this here while I go do some business. Like, fuck. Where the motorcycles come from, Christopher Nolan? I want to know that. How'd they get there? Another thing is Joseph Gordon-Levitt has a tendency to mumble a little bit when he acts. Sometimes I can't understand everything he says. He's a great actor, but sometimes he kind of mumbles a little bit. And there was a part in there where, honestly, I need to watch some subtitles because I need to know what the fuck he said. Same with, the great Gary Oldman. Gary Oldman, there was a part in there where his Gotham accent, his American Gotham accent was not quite on, and I couldn't really hear it very well. And then Bane, I will say this, there were a couple parts where it was really, really difficult to understand what he was saying, but the second time I caught it, I just had to kind of adjust to the voice. But the thing is, though, and I noticed this mostly in the first couple parts of the movie, was that his voice, you can hear that they clipped it in, that they have an audio track that they clipped in, and there was a point where I heard where he said this, and the volume was at such, and his pitch was at such, and then somebody else talked, and then he said something else, and it was a completely different track, and I could hear it. And I have horrible hearing, in the ways of that. So that was kind of weird for me, that I could kind of hear that pitch difference and everything like that. But other than that, the movie was awesome. It was epic. The whole anarchy, society living the way it's supposed to be living, free and live for yourselves, and no government and everything like that. Well, kangaroo courts, that's pretty much what it came down to and everything. But it was just anarchy. I love anarchy, and honestly, I think that if this was the real world that we're talking about, which we're not, but I think that the Joker would have been sitting in his cell watching it on TV or looking out the window and seeing what was going on, and I think the Joker would have cracked a smile. Just because, I don't know, I think that the Joker would have, I think he would have enjoyed it. I did not see the Miranda Tate turning into Talia al Ghul, Ra's al Ghul's daughter. I did not see that coming. When she fucking stabbed him, whoa, what the fuck was that? Why are you doing this? But, that's another thing, though, is IMDb, throughout the movie, Selena Kyle, Catwoman, she has this little blonde friend, and if anybody was watching the IMDb site the way I was, I have to say that the IMDb site listed that girl as Talia al Ghul. But then when the movie came out and it was spoiled, everybody knew what the hell happened, then they've changed it around on IMDb. But she was billed as Talia al Ghul, and now she's billed as the regular actress's name, or the character's name and everything. You little slick shit, Christopher Nolan. You're a little slick shit. My last and final bitch about this movie is Bane's demise. I love Tom Hardy. I love the character of Bane. I love what Christopher Nolan did with Bane. I loved how he was just a menace and just a brute and just very bold, awesome. It's kind of weird to say because he was a villain, but a very warm character. He made me feel his character. Tom Hardy did. But his demise, I mean, basically they're out in the middle of the square and everybody's fighting, and Bane's throwing some haymakers, man. He's doing some business, but Batman kicks his ass and ends up fucking knocking his apparatus all jacked up and knocks him into the building and everything like that. And I was waiting for him to beat that fucking mask off of his face, and then for Bane to have some sort of an exit in the ways of like a final speech just to Bruce Wayne, to Batman, some sort of a monologue or a dialogue between those two. But then the whole Talia al Ghul thing happened, and it kind of ruined it for me, because I was waiting for for that to come to a conclusion, those two characters to come to a conclusion with each other. But it ended up, Talia al Ghul, Miranda Tate fucking stabs Batman, and then she has this big long speech, and she leaves, and Bane's gonna kill Batman. Then all of a sudden, zoop, Catwoman fucking blows him away off of her bike, and I don't know, that didn't sit right with me. That didn't sit right with me. Just seeing Bane just get blown away like a little bitch. I don't know. I was really, like I said, I wanted to see Batman beat that fucking mask off of his face, because that's exactly what fucking Bane did to him, pretty much, when he broke his back and shit. And that was a great fight scene. They were all great fight scenes. People were bitching about this movie not having enough Batman in it and all this stuff, but I think that movie was great. It was a great story. It was a great ending to Christopher Nolan's vision. And, I give him props, man. And people are really hating on it, man. I'm looking at all these comments and all these critics, and everybody thinks they're a critic. And I know that I'm a critic, sort of, not a professional critic, but I can talk about movies and give my opinion, but that's just the thing, is some of these people are comparing it to other things and saying that this was wrong with it and this was wrong with it and everything like that. But the story was needed, and the time away from Batman, that was what Bruce Wayne was dealing with in the movie, was to be or not to be, pretty much. And I think a lot of people kind of stray away from that, and they're just wanting this Braveheart epic, just nonstop Jerry Bruckheimer fucking kind of, action movie and everything. And I needed the story. I needed the story. But it was a great movie. I loved it very much. I can't wait to just own the whole trilogy, and I can't wait to see. I've heard that Nolan might produce another one, not direct it or write it, but produce another one if the script is good enough. So I'm hoping for some good news. Come down the road a couple years from now, we might hear something, and that'll be really cool, to see where the story gets taken and everything like that. And but I hope that people get away from this Joker thing, because Heath Ledger did a great job as the Joker, and that story was great, the movie was great. But everybody keeps comparing everything to the Joker, and I'm really just kind of getting sick of it, because it was one story. Let's continue it on. And I think that this was a great continuation of that story, and Bruce Wayne's journey through the world of one of our favorite superheroes. Thank you, Christopher Nolan. And you want to know what? As for the Aurora shooting, I want to say this. I'm just glad they took that little cocksucker alive. I'm serious. I'm so sick and tired of hearing about these cowards going out and gunning people down and then taking their own life and just taking the easy way out. I'm so glad that they got him. And it wasn't by the work of the police. I mean, he was just right out there for them to find him. But there's been a lot of tragedy in this country, and I don't really speak out about a lot of it, but for some odd reason, that shooting got me more than 9/11 even. 9/11 was terrible, but that shooting, it kind of hit close to home, just because, I've enjoyed going to movies forever. Like we all have, and there was something about the fact that it happened at a theater. I could have been there. Anybody could have been there that was a movie lover, and these people went there to, enjoy the old past entertainment, that has spanned, 100 years, and people have been enjoying themselves at the movies and having a good time at the movies, and being excited and scared and frightened and happy and romantic and everything at the movies, and then to have somebody come in and do something like that, I don't want to allow something like that in my country and in my world. I'm a movie lover, and that's why it hit me so bad, and I really feel bad for everybody that had to go through that situation, and I hope that in the future this shit doesn't happen again, because it's just ridiculous. But my tube review of The Dark Knight Rises is 5 tube thumbs up for it. I can't give it any less. You know, if I could give it 6, I would. And you know what? No, I'm not gonna do that. That's unfair to all the other movies. 5 tube thumbs up. It'll be a good time. Go and enjoy it, and check out my videos. I just made a new one. I had bats on the brain when I made it, so there's a lot of Batman in there, kind of, you know, in memory of the Aurora shooting, but also just because it's kind of the end of an era for me, waiting for this movie for 4 years to come out, and not knowing if it was going to come out, not knowing if it was going to be good, not knowing anything about it, and just hoping for the best, and just, you know, a milestone was reached. I went to it, and that's something in my life that I've been looking forward to more than pretty much probably any movie I've ever seen. I've been looking forward to this movie for a long time. So, yep, 5 out of 5, tube thumbs up. Go check it out. And, you know, please, if you want to talk to me about the movie, you know, please message me and, you know, talk to me about it and everything. But, yeah, and check out my videos. Just released a new one. Like I said, kind of batty, but it'll work. And I loved it. Loved making it. You guys have a good night. And coming up soon, I'm going to review Men in Black 3 and Goon. Goon was a great movie. And American Reunion. And you know, still want more feedback from you guys. And honestly, just, you know, let me know what movies you want me to watch. I don't even need to review them. I'll just watch them. But I love reviewing movies, and pretty much any time I watch a new one, I want to review it. So, you know, I love you guys. Thank you very much for joining me. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.